Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Once again, welcome to the delayed flight. This is another tutorial about the Garmin G3X Touch. I insisted lately on the Garmin G3X Touch, but previously we had the Icon A5. This time we have another plane, we have the NX Cub. Now, which is the difference between the X Cub and the NX Cub, the plane that we will use right now? The X Cub is a tail dragger, okay? While the NX Cub has a nose wheel, a tricycle gear, and this is the major difference. The engines are quite similar, and I would say that the NX Cub is more reliable. So let us go to our plane. Some consider it maybe the ugliest plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I think she's a natural, real beauty, and definitely has features that even bigger planes would be jealous of. So this is the NX Cub. A small plane again, like the Icon A5. But I suppose you are already familiarized with the features of the Garmin G3X Touch, and you will have no problem at all to handle this plane also. So we will depart from runway 23. Give me a second, please. This is quite annoying at the moment. I hope no one will disturb us now. I changed the frequency. About the NX Cub, a few things I have to say is that, okay, I mean, this couldn't be my favorite plane. The visibility inside the cockpit is not the best. And I had some problems to adjust the camera setup. I mean, it was not easy to go outside of the plane. If you are interested, please let me know and I will show you how. However, I managed finally to go out of the plane, but you have to modify the very first camera, actually this one here. So these are my new cameras for the NX Cub. Okay. As you remember, the Icon A5 didn't have any knobs at all. I mean, we couldn't adjust the basic autopilot features. We could only adjust them with the keyboard shortcuts. Here, if you have a look, we have at least the basics. I mean, we have the heading. Okay, I will use these commands here. So I set 240, I think is the, or not, no, 230, isn't it? 05 and 23, yes, so 230, I set the heading of the runway, exactly. Let us not make it that complicated, so I can as well set an altitude here of, let's say, 1500 feet, and I can as well set the rate of ascent. I pressed Alt V in order to activate the vertical speed, so I set here a rate of ascent of, let's say, 700 feet per minute, okay? So the rest for later. We are good to take off. We will climb only at 1500 feet with a rate of ascent of 600 feet per minute, isn't it? By the way, also the keyboard command works here to release the brakes, I mean, the parking brakes, which is CTRL plus del. You see that this plane doesn't accelerate, like the Icon A5, I mean. Okay, so we're good to go. Good. There is no gear to retract. Here are the autopilot settings, isn't it? So I engage my autopilot exactly here, okay? By the way, this indication here, the red warning about the rounds per minute, you can as well ignore, because usually it stays red, though I don't use maximum thrust. So just ignore it and try not to have maximum thrust. However, in general, no matter what you do, it appears. So you can as well ignore it. I'm trying to combine different things at the same time. I mean, we can also have a look at the cameras. A wonderful scenery, bespoke airport and a bespoke town. We have seen already some other clips here. Though this is not the proper time for the cameras, I suppose. I will not retract my flaps. I want to keep a low speed. So now we must set the ILS frequency. How do we do this? We don't have any flight plan, so the truth is that the GPS mode is useless at the moment. We press here on the compass and we change from GPS mode to lock mode, exactly. However, the lock mode is not activated. We must as well set the frequency of the runway, which is 110.30, I think. Runway 05, exactly. How do we do this? We said that we go here, navigation, 110.30. You press transfer if you want to activate immediately the frequency, and this is exactly what I do right now. You see, the green arrow appeared, and otherwise you press, let me have a look, yes, otherwise you press enter if you want to have this frequency in standby mode. But our frequency is already active, as we can see here. I hope my cursor is visible. Frequency is 110.30. So we will continue for a short time and then we will be turning to about 180 degrees and we will try to line up with our runway and have an ILS approach. A very beautiful scenery is this one. Good. So now let us change our heading. 05 is our runway, which means 50. I will use the knobs once again. As you see, we don't turn because heading mode actually is not activated. Okay. But now we press again here on the autopilot controls, and this time I activate heading mode. Okay. So as you see now we are turning. We see the localizer appeared. I can as well continue turning. You see here this green rhombus. Exactly, you see the green line is in the middle and the green rhombus is in the middle, so I can as well activate approach. Here it is. Hands-free. We are on lock mode at the moment, and I hope that we will soon line up with our runway, which is 05. Just ignore this indication here. I mean, whatever you do, it seems that it always goes red, though I repeat, my rounds per minute are not maximum. I mean, I don't know. Anyhow, it is not that important. Many details, very good job done by the developers. Sam Scene 3D once again is the developer. You see now the rhombus, this one here, the glide slope I mean. It goes to the middle, and this is exactly the position that we want. So hopefully soon we will also be established on the glide slope. We are already established on the localizer. The runway is right in front of us. Excellent. I would suggest you to deactivate and then reactivate again the approach mode. And this is exactly what we will do. We have both vertical and lateral guidance. So, yeah, it is done automatically. You see, glide slope appeared here, so I don't have to disengage the approach mode. It is done automatically. Yeah, the visibility is not the best, the truth is. Now I retracted my flaps in order to lose altitude. (1,000 feet). From time to time press BDU to correct your elevation. Everything on autopilot, I don't have to worry about nothing at all. Excellent. Some turbulence, so I will set again the first scale of flaps, which is controlled here with this lever here. Basipapi lights to white to red. Exactly. So I think it is about time to disengage the autopilot. Exactly. And we're good to land. I don't like the visibility very much inside the cockpit, but anyhow, we can live with this. plenty of runway, nothing to worry about. And I think we can as well have a touch and go once again. Good. We can perform also a second ILS landing from the other side of the runway, 05 this time. No, 23, isn't it? We landed on 05. Good. Okay, once again we're airborne. We must set up again the features on the autopilot. I activate the autopilot. And we're climbing at 1800 feet at the moment, with a rate of ascent of about 600 feet per minute. Good. A wonderful payware scenery again from SAM Scene 3D. We already examined scenic Israel, which was another wonderful scenery of SAM Scene 3D. So our new ILS frequency is 109.70, which means that we go here, 109.70, transfer. Exactly, and we see again the arrow is from the other side, pointed at runway 23. Okay, we reached 1800 feet and we see that we are stabilized at exactly 1800 feet. Heading mode is on. Altitude is engaged and flight director is on, and of course autopilot is on. I will make this slightly shorter on the interesting part of the second flight, of the second ILS approach. From the other side of the runway, which is runway 23, isn't it? So once again I can turn 230. And we will try to have a second ILS approach. This time is the opposite. We are established on the glide slope, but we are not very well established on the localizer. But anyhow, since the green rhombus is in the middle, this green caret, I will activate approach, and whatever will be, will be. I think everything will be just fine. Let me have a look. Yeah, we see also that this green line here tries to go to the center of the compass. Excellent. So we have an ILS approach once again. The ILS frequency is again operational. Runway 23 this time. And we're good to land. Let me check it out. Yeah, everything is just perfect. I can as well bring this window with right Alt and left click on the mouse. Hands free. This is not the best habit, I admit. I have said this many times, but I can't help it. Okay, I think it is time to land. Yeah, not the best visibility inside our plane, our new plane, the NX Cub. Good. I think I will retract my flaps. The lever is here, by the way. You see this one here. Strange things, yes. A little bit obsolete. Okay, so I disengage the autopilot. I set again first scale of flaps and we're good to land. I can as well take out this now. My speed is pretty low. Excellent. A very good landing this time. Can I exit the runway? So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is all more or less for now. I just wanted you once again to have a look at the Garmin G3X Touch, a wonderful tool. It is equipped in the Icon A5. We had already many tutorials with the Icon A5, and this time we used the NX Cub, which also has the Garmin G3X Touch. I think I will not insist any further, and since we had 2 ILS landings, I think there is no reason to recapitulate. Don't forget to support the channel, comment, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and you may have a look at the playlist. There are not many playlists on YouTube about the Garmin G3X Touch. There are plenty of tutorials there, and if you follow them, soon you will be able to handle this wonderful tool. And by the way, okay, with the Icon A5, you must download the Autopilot and the Garmin G3X Touch from Flight SimTO, but here it is all installed. You don't have to download nothing, you just go inside your NX Cub and you are ready to perform an ILS landing. These small planes have wonderful features, I have said this again, and can perform many tasks that you cannot even do with bigger planes. Okay, a little bit lazy, Ctrl Shift plus E. I can as well set my parking brakes though. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all for now. Thank you for watching this clip and hope to see you soon to the next one. Till then, you take care and bye for now.